Are the 2025 Morgans out yet? We get asked that every once in a while. It's early in the year and we're all excited because we love our modern issue Morgan dollars. The other part, though, is what I like looking at, and that is the rarity index of our original Morgans. The ones that date back to the Wild West, the 1878 to 1900, maybe 1904, based upon availability. What's out there? What's available? What are the prices, right? And then the comparison to the brand new ones they're making today. Well, tonight we have the two finest struck Morgans, according to the experts, in the history of the vintage Morgan. They are certified as Gem 65s. And for the first time, and I can't remember, and I'm like an elephant, I remember everything, we're under $200 a coin. Let's have some fun. So those coins we'd be talking about are San Francisco strikes, because we know our San Francisco Mint, during the late part of the 1800s, only struck a few coins, which means the quality of strike, the time spent on each coin, well, gave it a better look and a better feel. The dies were prepared better. It was a whole different story. The population was on the East Coast at that time in history. We were moving west, which means Philadelphia pumped them out like you could not believe. But if you look at the generations of this knowledge, the Highfields, the Millers, right? And Love, the others that just have written the various works that chronicle over a half a century of their individual knowledge. What have they seen, etc. They all agree on one thing, San Francisco and 81S followed by the 80S. The finest struck out of the 90-odd different Morgans when you add in different years and or mints. So tonight we're looking at the two finest strikes. So in essence, then finding them in a 65 should be relatively easy. Yeah, sure. Magic wand, they're not $10,000 coins, we'll find them. Wish it worked that way. It doesn't. So we had this thing that happened in the middle teens in the United States. It was a World War I. And the English are struggling with silver redemption in India. So the U.S. comes to its aid. But we were neutral at the time. Woodrow Wilson, the president, had us neutral at that time still. So Senator Pittman passes or recommends a bill to melt all the Morgan dollars, or a good number of them, to help out, because that way it's bullion and you can't tell where the bullion came from. A Morgan dollar that says United States of America, doing, 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 they know we're involved. So plausible deniability, I guess, was the thought. They melted 60% of all the Morgans made, all the mints that struck them from 1878 to 1904. So with that said, now we're dealing with this theoretical 40% that's left, and we just have no idea what they are because they didn't keep records. Well, about 40 years ago, independent certification reached us, and that is the NGCs, PCGS. We today have CAC, ICG, ANAX. They call them the Big Five, of which NGC is the biggest by just sheer volume every single year, followed by PCGS. And they chronicle everything they've seen. So when the red book or guidebooks give us a mintage figure, and we look at that and we say, I love it, it's a low number, or I hate it, it's a high number, it doesn't always equate because we don't know what's left, what's still out there, what is in the hands of collectors somewhere around the world. Well, for 40 years, they've been chronicling information. How many coins they're seeing and what is the grade, the quality of those coins. And when you get to these two, even though they're San Francisco's, it becomes outright amazing. It's a stat that's like, wow. The 81S, the finest ever, the bottom of the two right here in the graphic. There's over 500,000 coins they have seen. In 65 or higher, so at 65, 66, 67, etc., added together, the number's only 89,000 that fit this grade or higher. A very small percentage. The 1880s, even smaller yet. That's at $62,489 as of today. Here are the mintages. They made $8.9 million and $12.7 million. So when I tell you the Pittman Act and the destruction of silver crushed these coins, crushed them all, the answer is of course it did. And then you look at these numbers. Here are some numbers for comparison's sake. In 2021, for the 100th anniversary of the Morgan dollar's last coin, 1921, they made a new coin, right? A new Morgan. They made a Philadelphia, a San Francisco, a Denver, a New Orleans, and a Carson City. Each one of them had 175,000 coins struck, and everyone sold out before you could spell cartwheel. Today, can you touch any of the modern coin made in the last 5 years at 175,000, which is double either of these, almost triple of the ADS? Can you find any of those for under $249? We sold out at $199 a little over a week ago for the modern coin. So now we're going back 140 plus years to these originals in this quality, knowing how few of them exist, and look at the price. Now my competition has them both for a coin in a capsule. They're at $175. For the coin certified in the same holders you're seeing right now on your screen, they're at $386 and $396 respectively. We're almost half the price. That's the AVC way it always is. Now, the other fun part about these coins and history is what was going on in the Wild West at this time? What was going on in the world? What was our involvement? Just a couple of short tidbits just to kind of clue you in. Panama Canal's been in the news lately, right? They started construction in 1880. President Garfield elected president. Electricity in a U.S. city for the first time ever. Wabash, Indiana. 81, President Garfield's assassinated. The American Red Cross, Clara Barton, is formed, right? And two of the more significant dates in the Wild West and our outlaws. The outright OK Corral in Tombstone, and Billy the Kid is shot by Pat Garrett. That's what was going on when these coins were made, and now 140 years later, we have a few of them this nice. Told you, it's outright special. No matter which way you cut it. Guys, I can't clock this one. We're down to only a handful. If it's in your browser, it's in your shopping cart online, abccoins.com. Push it through. We're almost sold out. Guys, we just got to make it a hot cut and go. Thanks for listening.